Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the League One Transfer Rumour Roundup. I know it has been a while since the previous one and I can only apologise for that, but we are back here for an episode today, and because I've left it so late, we do have quite a lot to cover. So without any further hesitation, let's dive into some of the key completed deals that have gone through since the last episode. Leyton Orient have re-signed Ipswich Town midfielder Idris El Mazouni on loan for the season. The Tunisian midfielder spent last season with the club in their title-winning season in League Two and was a box-to-box midfielder who got himself stuck in. Bit of a disciplinary issue, but nevertheless, a very solid player to have for Orient going into next season. Derby County are in desperate need of strengthening their attacking options, and they've done that with the signing of Rotherham United striker Connor Washington, who returns to League One a year after he left Charlton Athletic, my club, to sign for Rotherham. Interesting one, this one. I think Washington could offer Derby something. Obviously for Charlton, he got double figures in the 2 seasons that he was here. He's a player with a bit of pace that can run in behind the defence, but a bit of an end product issue. So if Derby can work on that, then he could potentially come good for them. Whether he'll replace David McGoldrick's goals, that is another question. The Alfie May saga finally met its conclusion as the 30-year-old striker has left Cheltenham Town and has signed for my club, Charlton Athletic, for an undisclosed fee, a fee rumoured to be around £250,000. Fantastic deal for Charlton, massive loss for Cheltenham, of course. That's going to be a huge hole to fill now for their team this season, but Charlton, a real statement of intent, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he fares this season. If you guys would like to know more about this transfer, then check out my Addicts Edition series. I'll link that in the description. And with one Charlton player leaving the club, we saw another one exit, with Sam Lavelle making the move to Carlisle United on a permanent transfer. I think this is a decent move for both parties, really. Lavelle just really struggled to get going with Charlton. His injuries really let him down, but I think from the 2021-22 season, he proved that despite why we didn't play many games that season and he suffered with injury, he still was a decent performer at League One level. So I think Carlisle, they've done well with that one, provided they can keep him fit. I think he'll offer something for them. And Derby County also captured the signing of Luton Town centre-back Sonny Bradley on a free transfer. This is an absolutely stupid signing for League One level, a defender that definitely should not be playing at League One level, and just shows how good Derby's recruitment is going into this season. And they also completed the signing of Bristol City fullback Kane Wilson. We spoke about this one in a previous rumour roundup, whether he was linked with a move to Bolton Wanderers, but it is Derby that have got a deal over the line with Jason Knight going the other way. We spoke about this one as well in a previous video. Knight was attracting a lot of interest from Bristol City. I think it is a loss, but I think Wilson will offer something. Obviously really struggled at Championship level with City and will offer some decent competition at League One level, in my opinion anyway, in the right wing back department alongside Joe Ward. Those two are certainly going to be a decent options to have. Cheltenham Town have re-signed Luke Southwood on a permanent deal following his departure from Reading. A very solid pickup in my opinion. Southwood did really well last season, keeping himself 16 clean sheets. Shrewsbury captain Luke Leahy submitted a transfer request with the club not too long ago and has since signed for Wycombe Wanderers. A really solid signing this one for Wycombe. I think they've done really well. Leahy, in my opinion, is one of the best attacking fullbacks in this league / wing backs, and I think he'll offer a lot for Wycombe, but a massive loss for Shrewsbury. And you can only say now, with their club captain submitting a transfer request and leaving, you only have to say now who could be next for Shrewsbury to leave the club. Sean Clare has found his new club and has signed for Wigan Athletic on a 3-year deal, taking the number 7 for this season, which is certainly an interesting one. It kind of hints to him being played in a more advanced role. I still don't understand why we let him go. I felt that his versatility was going to be something that we would benefit from. Obviously, in my opinion, over the last 2 seasons he's been at the club, he's been a solid, consistent performer. Last season, obviously, did get caught out a couple of times playing at right back, but nevertheless, I think he'll offer something for Wigan going forward and also defensively. Jerry Yates' departure from Blackpool has officially been confirmed. He has signed for Swansea City with striker Carl Joseph going the other way as his replacement at Blackpool. Yates obviously is going to be a huge loss up front. Joseph, though, with a little bit of a potential. He scored 9 goals on loan with Oxford last season. Not quite on the same level as in terms of being Yates' replacement, like out and out. I don't think he's going to be that right away, but I think with time he will develop. But yeah, Yates, I think we all knew he was going to leave Blackpool. Reading's transfer embargo has been uplifted and they have been working pretty hard in getting their squad assembled for this season. Their first addition was Cambridge United winger Harvey Nibbs on a free transfer following his departure from the club in the summer. I think a decent little pickup for Reading. I think he'll offer something out wide. I think it was 5 goals and 5 assists Nibbs got last year. A lot of potential there. I think a lot of EFL clubs were sniffing around him. Cambridge United have completed the signing of Wigan Athletic midfielder Jordan Cousins on a free transfer. I like this one a lot, actually. I think Cousins will offer a lot in the middle of the park. A decent replacement, you could say, for Conor McGrandles. Decent experience in the middle of the park. Wigan striker Will Keane has completed a move to Championship side Preston North End for an undisclosed fee. One that came out of nowhere, but one that's not hardly surprising. Keane, obviously one of the key players for Wigan this season if they were to keep him, but with the current situation of the club, even though they've got out of the ownership situation, it's not really surprising that he has moved on. Preston obviously in need of a striking option, and I think Keane could provide that. And Reading have completed the signing, or the re-signing should I say, of Cambridge striker Sam Smith. He returns to the club after joining Cambridge United 2 seasons ago, and I think again a very solid pickup. This would have been a rumour that I would have discussed, but with me delaying this episode, it has now since gone through and Smith has joined the club on a permanent transfer. I think a solid pickup for Reading. They obviously needed more attacking options where their real only recognised striker at the moment is Andy Carroll, and I think Smith will offer decent competition or perhaps a decent partnership. Barnsley goalkeeper Brad Collins has completed a permanent move to Coventry City for an undisclosed fee. I think he'll offer some decent competition in between the sticks for Coventry. Charlton's impressive transfer window continues to shine as we did complete the signing of Ipswich Town midfielder Panuche Kamara on loan for the season. Of course, the Guinea-Bissau international did struggle quite badly with injuries last season. All we have to do is look at his time at Plymouth and you can see how good of a player he is. A real box-to-box midfielder, a bit of quality that we needed in the middle of the park. And I think if we can keep him fit, he could be a dangerous player this season. And a rather interesting transfer that went through yesterday, in fact. Exeter City have completed the signing of midfielder Tom Carroll. This is a name we haven't heard from in quite some time. He's obviously taken a year out from football following his release from Ipswich in the 2021-22 season. He offers a bit of experience, obviously 31 years of age, but the fact that he's been out of the game for a long time now makes me wonder whether this is a decent signing, but he's impressed at Exeter on trial, so certainly will be one to look out for. So there are some of the completed deals that have gone through it since the previous episode. I know I haven't covered all of them, but if I did, we'd be here till next week, and I don't really want to do that, so I've covered just a few of them. I do apologise for that. Now, without any further hesitation, let's dive in to the transfer rumours. And we do begin with a bit of managerial news, as Barnsley did appoint Neil Collins as Michael Duff's replacement following Duff's departure to join Swansea City. Now, this one is an interesting one and certainly throws a spanner into the works, as Collins is a very inexperienced manager, 39 years of age, I do believe, and his only experience comes in the second division in the USA. So certainly a lot of inexperience there and a lot of pressure on his shoulders, because realistically Barnsley do still have, in my opinion, a squad that is more than capable of competing for the playoffs this season. But with this managerial change, and for someone that is so inexperienced in the English game, it does make you wonder where this is going to leave Barnsley at the end of the season. Are they still going to be competitive? Are they still going to push for top 2 and even get in the playoffs? Those are question marks that do need to be asked. Barnsley fans, do you like the appointment of Neil Collins? Let me know in the comments below. With Reading's transfer embargo now lifted, it's no surprise that there has been an abundance of rumours for the Royals in terms of transfer targets. It has been reported that Reading are weighing up a move for experienced striker Chris Martin. Of course, Reading are in need of some more attacking options going into this season with the recent capture of Sam Smith and Andy Carroll. If they do keep him, they are in need of more reinforcements, and they are reportedly looking at Chris Martin, which of course would be a return to the club. He has had a previous stint with Reading, I believe in 2017-18, I may have that wrong, but 34 years old, obviously has had a very illustrious career in the Championship, has had good spells with the likes of Bristol City and Derby County recently. Last season he was at Queen's Park Rangers, where he scored 4 goals in 12 starts, making 4 sub-appearances off the bench as well in that time, so 16 appearances in total. Could certainly offer something for Reading. As I said, they do need some attacking options, and Martin will offer a lot of experience. Whether he'll get goals for them regularly is another question. The Royals have also reportedly taken Birmingham City defender Harley Dean on trial following his departure from the Blues this summer. Dean, the 31-year-old, has fallen out of favour with Birmingham over the years. He played only 15 times at Championship level last season. However, I do think this would be a very good signing at League One level. His previous spell in League One came at the end of the 2021-22 season, or the second half of that season, should I say, with Sheffield Wednesday. While he featured only 9 times, he kept an average match rating of 7.01, so a really influential spell at League One level, and I think he is a very commanding, aerially dominant defender standing at 6'3". So I think if Reading were to get this one over the line, it'd be a bit of a no-brainer with them looking to strengthen sort of all over the pitch really, and I think Dean would be a solid signing. It looks like Reading are set to complete the signing of Manchester United youngster Charlie Savage on a season-long loan. At least I think it is anyway. I would imagine that it would be, although I don't think it was disclosed, but I'm guessing it is a loan. United granted Reading permission to sign the player following a fee being agreed. Savage had been attracting interest from a number of clubs with the likes of Sheffield Wednesday, Swansea and League One rivals Wigan as well being interested, as well as a number of clubs abroad. Of course, Savage, the 20-year-old, has previously had a spell at League One level in the second half of last season with Forest Green Rovers, where he and the whole team really struggled in a dismal season, so this would be the next step in his development. A bit of pressure though on his shoulders to go from a side that were mired in a relegation battle and were the worst team in the league last season to then going to a side that you would imagine on paper in terms of expectation would be competing for the playoffs. And the Royals are also reportedly in advanced talks to complete the signing of midfielder Lewis Wing following his departure from Wycombe Wanderers. This is one I can definitely get behind. The 28-year-old, I've been very impressed with him over the last few seasons. He's got a nasty nasty long shot on him. Some of the goals he scored in the EFL over the last couple of years has been absolutely brilliant. 9 goals and 5 assists in 44 appearances for Wycombe last season with an average match rating of 7.04, average of 1.2 key passes per 90 and 2.3 tackles. So he is a midfielder that I'd say is more of an attacking midfielder or an attacking option, someone that can spray a pass and really create chances, but is also someone that can come back on the defensive and get stuck in. So wing, I think, ticks a lot of boxes for Reading. This one was supposed to be a rumour to be discussed in this video, but actually at the time of recording, this deal has gone through. Blackpool goalkeeper Chris Maxwell, or former Blackpool goalkeeper Chris Maxwell, should I say, has completed a move to Huddersfield Town after completing a medical with the club last night. Of course, Maxwell departed the Tangerines at the end of last season following relegation. He kept 5 clean sheets in 28 games last season with an average of 3.07 saves per 90 and a 64% save success rate. The 32-year-old, I think, will offer some decent cover for the Terriers this season. And sticking with the goalkeeper news, Portsmouth shot-stopper Josh Oluwayemi looks set to join Chelmsford City on loan for the season in the National League South. Pompey, it has been widely reported that they were interested in signing 2 goalkeepers this transfer window, with Will Norris being one of them from Burnley. So it heavily hinted to Oluwayemi leaving the club either permanently or on loan, but it does look likely that he will be going to the National League South this season. The 22-year-old only played 9 times in all competitions last season, 5 of which in the Papa Johns and 4 in the league. Sticking with Pompey, them and Bristol Rovers are reportedly making moves to sign Celtic defender Bozen Lawal. I've 100% butchered that and I do apologise, but nevertheless, the 20-year-old is very highly rated at Celtic. He played only once last season in a cameo in the Scottish Cup. He's mainly a centre-back but can also play further forward in midfield, and there seems to be a lot of hype surrounding him, and John Senior and Joe Barton are both sniffing around the 20-year-old to bring him to their respective clubs. My side, Charlton, are in desperate need of fullbacks going into this season, that is for sure. I would consider that as a main priority, and Richard Cooley did report that one of the players that we are interested in those positions, particularly to the left-back stroke left-wing-back department, is Blackburn Rovers' Teo Idun. Now, this is not really surprising considering Idun was a target for us in January last season, but I believe the deal fell through due to him receiving an injury in an academy game. So that just sums it up, really. It sums up Idun's time at Blackburn, really. He's really struggled with injury and minutes in general. He played only 8 times last season in the Championship, 20 the year before, and manager John Dahl Thomason has excluded Idun from the squad in their pre-season friendlies and has been told he's free to leave the club, hence why the interest has come back. But Richard Cooley has confirmed that we are interested in Idun, as well as a few other options. So it's not set that Idun is going to be the one we're going to sign, but he is one of the options that we are looking at. His best spell was with Lincoln City, which earned him his move to Blackpool. He featured 44 times in their playoff final appearance in the 2020-21 season, losing in the final to Blackpool, where he got 1 goal and 6 assists. I think he's a player that can play the wing-back position really well, despite a strugglesome time at Blackburn over the years. He's a player that's got a bit of pace and can push forward and get balls into the box and provide assists, and also someone that can come back on the defensive. So this is one I would get behind. I think he is a position that we do need to strengthen, but as I said, it's not set that Idun is going to be the one we're going to sign. Celtic midfielder Liam Shaw is set for a return to League One, as he is set to sign for Wigan Athletic, although it is not disclosed whether it is on a temporary or permanent basis. The 22-year-old impressed on loan last season with Morecambe in a strugglesome Morecambe side, which ended up getting relegated. He played 34 times, getting 2 goals and 3 assists. I think he would offer something, a lot of promise in the middle of the park for Wigan this year. One player's name that has continuously been mentioned, not just for League One clubs, but the transfer market in general, is Billy Sharp this summer, with Derby County being mentioned as one of the clubs linked, with also Rotherham United, with manager Matt Taylor coming out not too long ago saying that he was interested in the striker. I thought I would cover this one. It is quite an old rumour because it's been going on for quite some time, but Derby are the League One club that are reportedly interested in bringing in Sharp. Derby still need to replace McGoldrick's goals last season, despite bringing in Colin Washington, but they need to add more attacking firepower. Sharp would offer a lot of experience. If Derby were to get this over the line, would be a very interesting signing, to say the least. I think it would be one to keep an eye on, and certainly one that's going to rumble on for quite some time. Former Blackpool winger Keshi Anderson is holding talks with Birmingham City ahead of a move following a trial with the club. Anderson was another player that left the club upon the expiration of his contract, like Chris Maxwell, and I think he will be a bit of a loss next season for Blackpool. I feel that he would have been a player that they would have really benefited from at League One level. The 28-year-old played just 9 times last season with 2 assists, so I don't know whether he struggled with injury. I'd imagine that he did. He played 32 games in the previous Championship season, getting 4 goals and 4 assists. So yeah, it's a shame how it's really petered out and ended for Anderson at Blackpool, but I think he will be a player that Blackpool will miss out at League One level. Whether he's ready to take the step up for Birmingham, I'm not entirely sure. He'll probably be just a cover. Stoke City are reportedly interested in Bristol Rovers striker Aaron Collins. I was waiting for a rumour to come out about Collins, with him being obviously one of the most prolific strikers in League One last season. He featured in every League One game last season, getting 16 goals and 11 assists. If this one was to go through, Rovers are obviously building quite a decent squad this summer. I think they've had a really good transfer window, and Collins is obviously the tip of the iceberg and the main man in the squad. If Collins was to leave, and there is still every chance that he could, I think it would potentially derail Rovers' progression this season, because I do see them progressing from their 17th place finish this season, provided that they do keep the entirety of their squad. If they lose their leading man, we've seen it in the past when they lost Clark Harris, where it just completely derailed them and he ended up getting relegated. I'm not saying that will happen this time, you never know, it's very unpredictable, but if Collins was to leave, it would be a monumentous loss. Oxford United are continuing to monitor Marley Watkins following his departure from Aberdeen this summer. He is currently on trial with the club. He can play out wide. I think he can also be utilised through the middle. He made 26 appearances in the SPL last season, amassing just 1 goal and 1 assist. I'm not too sure with this one in terms of quality. Oxford do need some more attacking firepower, that is for sure, but I have questions as to whether Watkins is the main man to lead them forward. Oxford fans, be interested to get your take on this one. Would you take Watkins following a trial? Let me know in the comments below. Gareth Ainsworth's Queen's Park Rangers are reportedly interested in a number of League One defenders this season, one of them being Peterborough defender Josh Knight. This one would be an interesting one, considering that he featured only 16 times as a starter last season, making 16 appearances off the bench for the Posh. The 25-year-old previously worked with Ainsworth in the Championship with Wickham in their Championship season, so that's where the link comes from. That's why it makes most sense. This one would be an interesting one. One player that I think would be an exciting pickup for QPR, though, is Wickham centre-back Chris Farino-Joseph. The 23-year-old played 30 games for Wickham last season, getting himself 4 goals and 1 assist with an average match rating of 7, 4.1 aerial duels won per game on average, with 1.4 tackles and interceptions and 3.9 clearances. At only 23 and 6'3", he is a very solid defender for Wickham this season, going into this season and last season as well. A very commanding centre-half who is very aerially dominant and likes to get stuck in. So I think a QPR were to go in for this one and were to get this one over the line, it'd be a very solid pickup, and of course a massive loss for Wickham. And the third and final centre-back that QPR have been linked with is Wigan defender Jack Watmow. We have spoke about Watmow in a previous transfer rumour roundup with his link to Coventry City. He is arguably the best centre-back in the league going into this season, and if Wigan were to keep him, it would be a really, really solid player to keep hold of. But with the club's current situation, starting with -8 points and, you know, still coming out of a disastrous ownership situation, it wouldn't surprise me if Watmow was to jump ship amid Championship interest. As I said, he has been linked with Coventry in the past. Now he's been linked to a move to QPR. I think it would be a very solid move for him and a decent signing for QPR. I think he's a defender that certainly is capable of doing a job at Championship level. So that is it for this episode of the League One Transfer Rumour Roundup, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you did, can you possibly leave a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and turn on those post notifications so you're notified of every time I upload a new video. What do you guys think of the latest done deals and transfer rumours discussed in this video? Let me know in the comments below. Did I miss any out? Get them in the comments below and I may well discuss them in the next episode. Once again, I do apologise for not uploading this series as frequently as I did promise. I do apologise for that. I will try my best to get it out more frequently, try to get it on a weekly basis as the season continues on and as the transfer window comes to a close in September. Thanks again for watching this video, guys. It is greatly appreciated. The support on the channel has been absolutely incredible lately, and I'm very grateful for that. So hopefully we can continue our growth. This has been Tyler Roninson. Have a nice day, and I will see you all in the next video. Take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you all then.